Hi guys, I want to show you my little setup that I have here for those who will be left behind and coming to look for answers or food or Bibles. And I have this set up right in front of our kitchen door where people come in. And so as you guys know, a while back I was asking you to point me to some left behind letters. And here's the thing. A lot of them that I was finding, it was like they were just so long and I just didn't want to print out like 50 pages. And other ones that were shorter, for some reason, they wouldn't print. So I feel like when we're taken out of here, it's going to be a very urgent time and people are going to be busting down our doors looking for us and looking for answers. And so I feel like we need to have things right there ready and waiting for them. And I realized that I didn't want to have like 400 pages for them to have to sit down and read for days. There's nothing wrong with that. If you already have that, that's fine. But what I would personally, my own suggestion or advice would be to kind of leave like what I have here is just a really brief like checklist on top of everything to kind of just say, this is what happened. This is where we are. This is what's going to happen and what you can expect. Don't take the mark of the beast, and just explain to them that it's not totally hopeless for them still. They do have a chance for salvation, but we need to explain to them the only way that you're going to be able to do that, and that's going to either be to die for Jesus and get their heads cut off, or if by whatever, the skin of their teeth, that they escape into the wilderness or whatever and happen to survive the entire time, they need to keep the faith of Jesus, okay? So I just want to simplify it on top and just give them like a quick overview. And then, so what I have here is, it says start here, read the book of Revelation and the New Testament. Okay, so after I give them a brief checklist of what's going on and what's going to happen, then they can go check out Revelation and then read through the New Testament. It says don't accept the mark of the beast. I left seeds and a garden for them if they're able to do that, and we also left some food with a long shelf life. One of the things that my husband and I found at Sportsman's Emporium is this kind of like powdered milk substance, and it has a shelf life for up to 20 years, and I know that's a little bit extra, but hopefully this will last for I don't know how long it'll last, hopefully quite some time. And then we have like canned goods and things like peanut butter and trail mix and just things with a long shelf life for them. And like I said, I left seeds and a garden for them. And then as you can see here, I have all my Bibles. I went all around the house and put them all here. So because, when people start barging in our doors looking for us or for answers, I don't want them to have to go rifling through my house and try to figure out where my Bibles are, because who knows if the Bibles won't be banned, and they're going to realize everything we've been saying all along is true and happening now, and so they're going to want to go to those Bibles and read for themselves. So I just have all my Bibles here, and then I have notebooks of my own personal Bible studies. And then I have this book here that my sister got me one year, I think for Christmas. I love this book. It simplifies the Bible, like it says here, in plain English. So I think that'll be good for my family members that'll be left behind, because I know I have some family members who will probably be left behind that won't be able to understand the Bible. So this just kind of simplifies it. And then a few other books, and let's see, Bible questions and answers, God's promises and prayers and things like that. Also, we have water purification tablets for them, and just some other things and supplies they might need, like for fires or whatever. So I just wanted to show this to you guys and just advise you guys and encourage you to do the same thing. And I would encourage you to put it in front of your door where people are going to come in and see it. And I am going to have a little chalkboard sign right here, and it's going to say something like, when the rapture happens, look here, or something like that. So again, I just encourage you to keep it simple for them at first. Just put a paper on top with just like a bullet point of, like I said, here's what happened. You've been left behind. This is where we're at. Don't take the mark of the beast. And that's something else that I need to add to this is, so they know that we've been warning them, don't take the mark of the beast, don't take the mark of the beast. To them, they might be like, okay, so what exactly is that? So I'm going to add to this. I think I'm going to redo my whole this letter on top here and just put because I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, whether it's a chip or VAX or what, but what I'm going to write is whatever it is that becomes the new law, where everyone is mandated to accept in their right hand or your forehead that says you can't buy, you can't sell, you can't eat, you can't work, you can't participate in society in any way, you can't go to the grocery store, whatever that is, don't accept that, because that's what the mark of the beast will be. So again, just simplify it for them and help them understand. And I've been trying to warn people in my life for 8 years what times we're in and that the rapture's happening and Jesus is coming and mark the beast, but for the most part I feel like it's just not being received. So I realized that I think we're right there, you guys. I think we're at that borderline where, Satan can only come so far while the church is still here. So I feel like that borderline is just almost being crossed. I mean, all you have to do is look at the news, look at the world around you. Everything's happening so fast and it's so dark and so evil out there, and I know they're starting to open things back up and people are thinking that it's like the ultimate deception. They're thinking everything's back to normal and Jesus isn't coming back and everything's going to be fine. And I know people who have actually just booked vacations for summer for Mexico and cruises and all these tropical places, and it just I don't know whether to laugh or cry about it, but everything's not going back to normal. It's a trap. And so I realized that I can only tell them for so long that Jesus is coming. They know that. They've been hearing that all their lives, I'm sure. So I realized that at this point we're so far that I'm in the total mode of like warning about the mark of the beast, because we have to make it relevant to them. And what's going to be relevant to them when they realize they're left behind is not to take the mark of the beast. So I'm just kind of like, for everything else, as far as warning about Jesus is coming, I've learned to be more touch and go with that and just not shove that down their throats, because if they don't want to accept it, they don't want to accept it. Like I said, most people I know right now, they only care about stimulus checks and summer vacations, and everything that I'm telling them, they're not, it's just being rejected. So they need to hear right now what's going to be relevant to them. Like I said, the mark of the beast. So that's just kind of where I've been at right now, is just mark of the beast mode, warning them about that. And I posted about it on Facebook, and crickets. For the most part, it was crickets, other than some of you guys and like my Christian aunt. Other than that, nothing. So sometimes I'll do like a social experiment with them, and I'll just to see if they're seeing what I'm saying about God and the end times and things like that. Because every time I post something about that, it's totally ignored. So I decide sometimes to just kind of do a social experiment. I mean, that's what Facebook is anyway, right? So I decided to do my own, and I will post like a picture of me and my husband or our dogs or something that I'm doing at the moment, and I just get all the likes and all the comments and all the attention, okay? And then I'll post something about Jesus again, and then nothing. So I know they're seeing what I'm posting. They might not be accepting it right now, or maybe they are, and they're just kind of too uncomfortable to say anything about it. So I have to trust that these seeds that I'm sowing are eventually going to ring in people's ears. Our words are going to ring in their ears after we're gone, and they're going to come looking for us and looking for answers and for our Bibles and food. So you guys, I truly do think we're right there. It's just so obvious at this point. So if you have been putting off leaving like left behind letters and things like that, I would encourage you to do it today, because if we're taken out of here tonight, if there's anything you wish you would have left there for your family or friends or strangers, I would go ahead and do that, because I mean, I don't know exactly how long we have left here, but if you're very in tune with the Spirit, it's easy to see the time that we're in, and we don't need to waste any more time preparing, not just for ourselves, but for those who are left behind. And we need to make sure that they make it understandable for them and simplify it for them, because just because we know and understand these things, because the Lord has opened our eyes and given us the understanding, they don't know. And we need to help them know that what the mark of the beast is specifically, and it's going to be, you know, the law of the land. Take this or you don't participate in society, and you don't eat, and you don't go to the grocery store. So whatever that is, that's what they need to be aware of. So I encourage you guys not to put it off any longer. Seek the Lord about what he wants you to leave behind for them, and I do encourage you to leave it, like I said, in a place where they'll be able to come inside and not have to, you know, rifle through everything and try to find your Bibles. Just kind of have everything in one place. And like I said, I'm gonna put a sign up here that kind of points them to where everything is. I think we're right there, you guys. What else? If there's anything here that you guys think that I should add to this, please let me know. I think I'm gonna redo my letter. That I'm gonna have this on top of everything. It's like, this is what happened, you know, just the basics, and then everything else after that they can follow up on. So okay, you guys, I'm excited to see you guys. I'm so excited to see Jesus and be in a place with him where there's no evil, and to be with like-minded people, and just to be out of this world system where we don't fit in. But it's a very bittersweet time, because even though I'm excited and relieved that our time is obviously almost here, it's sad, because I realize that I know people who are going to be left here. So it's bittersweet, but I think we're kind of on a time crunch right now. That word just hit me in my spirit, time crunch. All right, Lord, thank you, Lord. I have goosebumps. I don't know, I feel like that was a word from the Lord. Time crunch. So I advise you guys to just get everything ready for people who are going to come looking for answers and Bibles, and have everything in one place and simplify it for them. Like I said,